All right, mates, welcome back. We're at one of the locks. I get a lot of questions about people asking me about what it's like to put in a lot of these locks on the Potomac River and what the conditions of these launch areas are. And a lot of them are obviously makeshift over time, but this is one of the locks below a lot of the predominant areas that will get fished, especially spring and summer. But you can tell right here where the lock is. Hold on, let me turn this around for you. This is the lock, one of the old locks in the C&O. That's your tow path. It follows the Potomac River pretty much most of the way through Montgomery County, all the way up. You can kind of see what's going on here with this high water coming through here. But right down here, right down this path, and there's the parking lot right there. So you're literally like 30 yards, 40 yards. You bring your kayak, canoe, kayak, straight down here. And these are all really easy to assess. Coming in, most of the lock areas are paved. Some of the roads aren't paved. But you basically got right here, where predominantly a lot of people put in right here. It's not too steep. Usually get in one or two at a time. It's a little higher water right now, but also normally there's another spot that's a little bit further down right there on that little point right there that a lot of mates use. Let's see if I can walk over that to it. But with this high water we have in here, a lot of times this water's probably off the bank another like 15 yards typically. And you got some trees that have come down in this section now. And you can kind of see right there where they just kind of hit on these islands and they just get log jammed. And they basically become habitat mates. I mean, they really do, especially the ones out there that you can kind of see right out in the middle of the river out there. They'll stay out there. They'll probably be out there for all spring, and then you'll get smallies relating to them. I'm going to see if I can get stretched out right here. You can go all the way up. You can see stuff floating down the river right there. But all the way up right there is going to be Riley's. It's going to be all the way up there. Okay, and then around Riley's, you've got Seneca Creek that comes in. You got the boat ramp at Seneca where most of the jet boats. Some will come down into here, into this section, but most of them will run up because they don't go below Old Dam 2. They will run up towards, further up towards Edwards Ferry and places like that. They'll make the run all the way up in their jet boats. A lot more deeper water, obviously, up that way. But this is just one area where you can launch if you want to fish below Old Dam 2, which is right here where I'm standing. And you'd be able to see kind of like all the rock line that it forms when we don't have these high water events. Or you can motor on all the way up. If you're running a motor, you can run all the way up to Potomac with your motor and go out, stay above Dam 2, and work your way all the way up. There's another launch I like to use. It's on the other side, so it's below Old Dam 2. When you want to fish down between Swains Loch and Pennyfield to Old Dam 2. So you've got Pennyfield, you could put in at Pennyfield, which is a boat launch. You go underneath the tow path. Swains Loch is the least convenient in terms of like it's one little area. You've got to roll down one kayak at a time down like a steep little bank, and then you can put in and then fish up to Pennyfield, or go from Pennyfield down to Swains Loch where there's a campground. You get camped there. You kind of make the floats that way. A lot of us do floats from here all the way down to Swains in the late spring and early summer. Those are great easy floats, lots of holes to fish for smallies. But that's it. That's the lock right here. Again, easy access. You can go down this path when it's not blocked and cut through below the old dam, or you can motor on up or kayak up for a nice float heading up the upper Potomac. All right, mates.